2015, the CBSA has added about 2,000 managers to their ranks, which is specifically what we don't need. We're already inundated with managers at the CBSA. We have, I mean, workplaces where we have as many managers, or in some cases more, than we have people actually doing the work to process travelers and interdict. I could give examples that are extreme. North Portal, Saskatchewan, on any weekday, you'll have 7 managers and 5 officers.
Sorry, seven managers,
seven
and,
managers
five
and 5
officers?
I visit workplaces regularly where the numbers are about even. It has become so top-heavy and dysfunctional in some cases. I could tell you personal experience. I've worked as an officer in the secondary area at Pearson Airport with 1 other officer, a lineup out the door, and 4 superintendents who do not process any travelers. And we see this added.
What are the superintendents doing?
I mean, it's an excellent question. Apparently, supervising us. I don't want to be mean and say close to nothing, but it's pretty close to that. Our officers, a lot of them take every acting opportunity that they can simply because they're exhausted, and an acting superintendent assignment is a bit of a 4-month break for them to not do much of anything. That's the sad reality of it.
That is stunning to me. And when we talk about the ArriveCAN app, adding to what is simply a withdrawing investments that are so important to make sure that our frontline officers are getting the supports that they need. Given what you're saying, for example, border stations where there are more managers than there are actually frontline border officers, what would you say, how would you describe the current atmosphere, the working atmosphere in CBSA? Would you consider it toxic? Would you consider it good? What would be the words that you would use to describe the workplace culture right now in CBSA after the Conservative cuts and the Liberal refusal to actually restore those cuts?
I would say poor to toxic. That has to do with the staffing numbers, which have not gone up. That has to do with an over-reliance on technology, and both of those combined sees our officers working really hard to do the job that they signed up to do, which is to protect Canadians, to keep things out of Canada that we don't want to come into Canada. That's why they take the job. And, often the sense that they get at the workplace is that they really can't do that anymore, which is... it's, again, disheartening and really difficult conditions for them to be working under.
What would be the advice that you would give public accounts in terms of what recommendations we should be making to the government to ensure that a debacle like ArriveCAN, we've seen other debacles under the Conservatives, we saw Phoenix, that again, Liberals continued. What are the recommendations that you can make that would actually ensure that our borders are effectively invested in, and that border service officers can do the terrific work that they do?
Our borders need to be staffed. We desperately need staff, as I said, between 2,000 or 3,000 officers countrywide. We need to stop replacing officers with technology. That has to be there to assist officers, not to replace them. Again, an app is not going to interdict anything, and I think that over-reliance on technology, it's really embedded in the CBSA. The former CBSA president, John Osowski, sits on the advisory board of the Future Border Coalition, whose main mandate is advancing technologies, to largely speed up the border, and not too much focus on security there. They have been pushing for advancement of mobile app technology since pre-COVID, since 2018. So we really need to stop thinking that there's a magic technology bullet that's going to fix the situation at our borders. I think the other thing the agency could look at is that you could go the next decade without hiring another manager, and you'd likely still have too many.